there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to paint this pretty mum using watercolors. It's a quick and easy project, and I think it's so nice for fall because these are what's growing. We've got several pots of mums out on the porch, and I think they're so pretty this time of year. They last so long, and it's just nice and cozy. I want to let you know that I'm having a sale in my Teachable School. All of my full-length courses will be 40% off with the coupon code FALL40 through the 18th. So that's through Sunday. So if you want to grab a class, you want something to do during these chilly autumn days, you can go check it out. You do get lifetime access with my classes. So if you want to buy it on sale and then do the class in January when it's really cold outside, you can do that too. So I will put that link and the coupon code in the video description so you can check it out. You might even want the flower class because that's a real fun one to do, and you can think of summertime when you're painting all those flowers. So I actually sketched this out in my sketchbook that my friend Rosie made me. It's on Arches paper, and I thought I would paint this on a greeting card because this is really fun and simple, and it would be beautiful to send to somebody this fall. And we're going to just use a round brush. I've got a number 8 round. This is a Creative Mark Mimic. And I like these because they perform like a squirrel brush, but they're completely synthetic. And I'm using some new watercolors that I just couldn't resist. I found them on Amazon. They were like under $16, and for 48 colors, I'm like, I'm just gonna take a risk because I needed a palette anyway, and you know, for a metal palette and 48 half pans, it would cost me about 20 bucks anyway. So I'm like, well, if the paint's junk, I need a new palette. This is cheaper than just buying a palette, so I thought I would give it a try. So that's what we're going to use today. So far, so good with these. I think I'll actually turn this around so you can see my mixing area more than my paint. And I'm actually, whenever I have a new set of colors, I make a swatch because I want to see exactly how they're going to glaze, if they're transparent, and how they're going to look. So I will have a review on these at some point in the future, you know, in case you're curious about them. I got my 2 buckets of water. One's real dirty because I've been painting today. The other one's clean. As long as you got one that's clean, you should be good. Get some grime on there. Okay, and I've just clipped my Arteza watercolor card down onto my just scrap of cardboard because I'm not going to be painting the background, so I don't care about having a white edge or anything. So we're going to start by grabbing some yellow. You want to go for like a nice, bright, kind of medium yellow. And what we're going to do is we are going to make our flower center. Okay, now you can make all kinds of different flowers using this method. Daisies, you know, lots of different flowers. And what we're going to do is pick where you want the center of your flower to be. I'm going to go in the middle of the picture because it is a greeting card. And I'm just going to kind of tap on little kind of stippling, little dots in the middle. Okay, that's all I need to do for that. And then I think I want to have a little variety, so I'm going to grab some yellow ochre. So well, I'll rinse my brush off, blot off the extra water, and then I'm going to go get some yellow ochre. I don't want my brush as wet as it was before because I want it to kind of flow and stick kind of where I put it. I'm just going to tap it in. It's not really going to be that noticeable. It's just going to give it a little bit of depth of color. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of green. I think I'll go with like a nice sap green color. And again, my brush isn't very wet. I'm just going to pull it off the pan so it's kind of dry, and then I'll just kind of dab it in a few places just to give it a little bit of a freshness. If your green's not showing up, you can go with a little bit of a darker green, and that will work too. Okay, so there's nothing here that's got to be absolutely done the exact same colors. You know, you can play around with this idea and you know, make it your own. Now I want to get a little bit of mauve or mauve, depending on what part of the country and what country you're from, which is kind of like a reddish, winey purple color. And I'm using common names. I don't know what all the names of these are, and I move the arrangement around so I have my own preference, so it's in the way I prefer to have my colors. But this is what we call mauve or mauve. It's kind of like some people call it Bordeaux. It's kind of like a winey red. And I'm just going to pull out these little, well, they're not furs, they're petals, but I'm just going to kind of plant the ends of some of these petals in here. You can touch it into the yellow paint, and if it blends a little bit, I actually think that's real pretty. Okay, and now I think I'm going to grab maybe, let's grab some orange. Clean the brush off. gonna grab, there's a color there. It's kind of just like a soft, I don't want to call it a brown orange, just kind of like a soft orange, I would say. Not super vibrant, just kind of, you know, just kind of a mellow orange. And I'm going to start throwing in some little comma strokes. Now, if you're working on a rougher paper, you're going to need a wetter brush. So keep that in mind. If you're painting along and you're like, geez, my paint's not moving, you want to wet your brush. All right, now what I'm going to do is grab some of that mauve and add it to the orange. Now this, you would think, what a weird combination. It's actually really fall-like and beautiful. A little more of that mauve in there. You can use the shape of your brush to make the petals too. You can turn your painting if you need to, so you can kind of just set your brush down where you want that petal. Now think about this for using this technique for a Gerber daisy, any mums, marigolds, anything like that where you have chrysanthemums, when you have a big ball of long oval petals. Daisies, but maybe not so many layers. So it's a really versatile way to make petals. Now I want to have some yellow flowers there. I'm actually going to grab a warmer yellow. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to play with these colors because there are so many, and this is just a very inexpensive set. So generally with the cheaper sets of watercolors, more budget or student sets, they're not designed to do a lot of mixing, but I did do some mixing with this already and I didn't find any issues with it. So so mix away if you want to. But look at that, you just touch your paintbrush down, you know? And then vary your color a little bit. Maybe I'll grab some of that orange I was just using and I'll throw in some little orange petals here and there. I try to think of it as like a compass, and I want or a clock, and I want all my strokes kind of heading towards the center so I don't get them all leaning one way. But you can build this up as full as you want. Now this more textured paper, I got a little bit more, I had to use my paint a lot wetter to get the strokes, and I got more flow in there. So, you know, the different papers you use will create a different effect. I think I do like that mauve, but I think I want a little bit more of that in there. So I think I'm just going to maybe loosen up some of this area here and make some runnier petals. So I liked how those colors were just kind of like running into one another a bit there. And now I am going to put some petals. I'm going to let that kind of set up a little bit. I'm going to use some sap green. Pretty wet brush. I want my paint to flow. And I think I'll give it a stem kind of coming up from the side a little bit more than I had before. And then I am going to give it these kind of like, and you'll see leaves like this on like sunflowers and mums and daisies. It's just kind of like, they kind of have, I don't know, you don't call it a serrated edge, but it's got like a kind of like a regular edge to it. I guess that would be what you call it. And I love it when it kind of bumps into the petal and you get that little bit of a bleed happening. I think that's so loose and fun and really looks like watercolor to me. And I think when you're going to send a card to somebody, I don't know, it's just such a fresh, friendly look that I just really like it. And you get to put some little ones in. You don't have to have them all real big. I know you generally don't have so many. You usually see more flowers than you do leaves in mums because you have like a pot of mums, but I think it's so fun to design leaves, so I like to throw some in there. Like with sunflowers, you definitely see like a lot of leaves coming off the stalk. Because usually on a sunflower you get one main stalk and you get the flower coming off the top, so you'll see more leaves like this. So if you're doing a sunflower, definitely do a thicker stalk and put more of those leaves in there. Now if you want to add some shadows, a couple ways you can do it. Like that one I dried the leaves and then I went over with the layer of darker color. But you can also do wet into wet and get a little bit more of a bleed or a bloom, which I think is really pretty too. So I'm just going to grab a darker green. I think I'll actually add a little bit of, like a, kind of like a Prussian blue to it, or phthalo blue, whichever one you have on your palette, which are any sort of cool blue, whichever one you like. I think that would be pretty. And then, you know, you can go in and add that wet into wet and get a little more blending. Or you can let it dry and kind of layer it up a little bit more. It's completely up to you. You can do, you know, you can mix it up. It's like I don't want to disturb that bleed too much, but I do like that extra little definition. And also, the drier your brush is, the less it's going to bleed. So if you want more bleeding, you want your brush wetter. And if you want to control where it goes and have less bleeding, then go in drier. Like there, it's kind of staying put. But I don't like that. I'm going to soften that. So I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to blot it, and I'm just going to hit the edges of that a little bit, help it blend in a little bit more. But again, that's up to you. And of course, you know, I think I'll take a little bit of that pretty kind of Prussian blue color, and I think I'm going to add some of that in around here and really kind of pump up that purple. Remember, it's your flower. You can do what you like. You can, you know, you can beef up that color if you want. You can make it however you want it to be. Now, another thing that I like to do, which, you know, you'll know if you've watched my channel at all, is I do like to spatter. So I'm just going to tap on a little bit of spatter here. And any color that you've already used, I think, is fair game. I usually try to figure out what colors would I like to see a little bit more of. I'm just going to move my sketchbook out of the way so I don't spatter it by mistake. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of spatter. That's personal preference, though. You can do that. You can forget it. Oh, yellow ochre would make a really good spatter color, I think, so it's a little mellow. And plus, I always think yellow ochre just makes everything look better. And if you get too much spatter and you don't like it, you could take a dry paper towel and you can just kind of blot at it here and there where you don't like it. And there you have it. There, we've painted a mum. We've done it a little bit of an abstract style. Here's one that's that's all dry and a little bit more restrained. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my sale in my Teachable School if you'd like to grab a class on sale. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up before you go. And until next time, happy crafting.